I got so humbled by a man that I quite literally have not stopped thinking about it for weeks, so I think I need to get it off my chest. I went to Jersey with my girlfriends for 4th of July, so this was more than a month ago, and I'm still thinking about it. And we were at the bars. We met these guys who worked in finance. They lived in New York. They seemed like nice guys. They were decently cute, and I started talking to this one guy, and he's telling me all about how when he's in New York, he always gets with girls who look like his celebrity crush, Margot Robbie. I'm like, okay, buddy. Like, all right, whatever. Anywho, then he starts talking about who his celebrity lookalike is. And he thinks that it was like Brad Pitt or like some like really hot celebrity. I don't remember who. But I'm like, okay, like he didn't look like him, but what are you gonna do? I'm like, oh yeah, like that's great. Then he goes, who do you think your celebrity lookalike is? And I don't really think that I have a celebrity lookalike, but my TikTok comments will sometimes say that I look like a blonde Nessa Barrett. Sometimes I get Sabrina Carpenter too, but blonde Nessa Barrett I've gotten a couple of times. So I said that. I was like, yeah, like typically like I feel like people will tell me I look like a blonde Nessa Barrett. And he goes, he goes, yeah, you look like Nessa Barrett if she ate someone else. Are men in Jersey just like all diabolical, or like is that like normal to be spoken to like that? I did not know how to respond. I laughed, but I think he was serious.
There is nothing more humbling than paying on a dating app to finally see who likes you after you've been swiping and you get no matches. And I only say this because eventually you get to the point where you're just like, why don't we see who I'm attracting so I can see, where my disconnect is. And then you see who they are and you begin to doubt how you look, how you present yourself, and how you feel about yourself. It is not something I would wish on anybody. And for those of you who pay for these apps all the time to always see your likes, I don't know how you do it. I don't. It was enough that I deleted my profile, because what I like is not what likes me. So I'm just gonna roll into 40 in the next couple of years, just being single, working.
I think what's missing for a lot of these women is a mirror. It's almost like you don't have a mirror.
I say whatever the fuck I want. Who gonna pop me? Nobody.
Ain't nobody at home to pop. You single. You can say what you want and go home by yourself.
Well, yeah.
I was at my friend's house for a party, and there was a guy there who was like a friend of a friend, and we really hit it off. Like, I had so much fun getting to know this guy and just like talking, and I like really felt like I could date this guy. And a lot of my friends came up and were like, he's really, like, it seems like he's really into you. So this week I was doing some light Instagram stalking, as one should, and he has like several photographs with women in smaller bodies. And the places that my mind went instantly were just awful. And I hate that they were my first reactions. Again, these were over a course, like these photos were over the course of like 10 years. And I instantly just felt like I wasn't attractive enough or desirable enough in my body for someone to want me. And I hate that that was my first reaction, was due to my size and my plus size body that I love. I questioned my desirability for this man. And I hate the fact that I was like, oh, I wonder if he'd be willing to date a bigger girl. No, like, I hate that idea of being willing to date. Like, no. And the fact that like I would even question my worth and what I would bring into a relationship just because of 3 photographs over the course of 10 years. But like, that's what fat phobia does to someone. Like, these are the feelings that I have, like real feelings I have based off of years and years of conditioning of being told that I'm not good enough, that me and my body is not good enough. And it's awful. I'm so glad that I like recognized it and I can have that ability to like reset the mind. But the fact that I even went there is devastating. Really, really sucks.
Is exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what it...
Hi, I'm a fatty here. I'm about 240 pounds and 5'3", so I'm classified as an obese gal. First of all, comparing being fat to being a person of color or disabled, like, well, every fat person has a reason for being the way they are. Like, we weren't, like, just born into that. And also, fat is a preference. I don't really date heavy guys. I've always dated skinny guys. I'm not fat phobic. And ultimately, if someone is not into a fat person like myself, then I don't want them. Why try and convince someone to like
preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayak.
I'm a fat girl. Oh, I am a fat girl. And my preference would never include someone like you. He's so you're such an obnoxious cunt. Honestly, guys, read that. What a patronizing piece of... I tell you what, lads. If you like me for my personality, amazing. If my body size does not do it for you, fair enough. I don't blame you. You need to be sexually attracted to somebody to make a relationship work. Do not listen to wombles like that who are telling you that you are a bad person because you don't find fat attractive. No, you are entitled to like who you want, how you want, when you want. Be free.
I'm about to have a first date and it's like a guy that I met online. I'm just gonna talk about something really fast just because I was talking to a skinny friend of mine and I don't think it's ever happened to her. Whenever I go on like a first date with somebody I've met online, I am so nervous and I try so hard. I'll post at some point like what my photos are on my online profiles because I try so hard to make sure that they know I'm fat. I don't want it to be a question. I don't want it to be a surprise. I try really hard for them to know. I was talking to a friend about this and she was like, oh my God, has somebody ever like said that? And like, I can think of a solid 2 to 3 times that someone has like gone and like showed up on the date and they say something along the lines of, wow, it's like, you look different than I thought you would. Or one guy that I slept with and then messaged me afterwards and said, you know what, I think that you just look different than I thought in person. After we slept together. So anyway, every time I'm about to go for a date, I am terrified. So, can you tell that I'm fat? Can you? Because I'm trying really hard to not freak out about the fact that like he could show up and be disappointed about what I look like. I know it's said all the time, especially on this app, I guess it depends who you're following, but like dating as a fat woman is incredibly stressful and it's also just difficult and hurtful 99% of the time. Anyway, we'll see how this goes.
Well, kind of responding to the first girl here, if you think about what men go through when men are saying the same exact thing, but about their finances, and really men are saying that same exact thing about their finances and their looks. Am I up to par to be dating this woman? Am I 6 foot? Do I have 6 figures? So am I attractive? Am I physically fit in her eyes? Do I have a nice sized thing? Do I have a 6-pack? Right? Those are the things that men are asking, except they don't get to get in here and spew the stuff that you were talking about. They have to accept and get better in a lot of those areas for a lot of these modern women.
I can tell you this, if you ask this young lady, is she intelligent? She'd look you dead in your eyes and say yes. If you ask her, does she have manners? She'd say yes. But she's been interrupting and she's been rude and unruly this whole time, which is why I have to address it. Because too often guys will look at her and say, you know, she's attractive. I want to smash. And because they want to smash, they're about to start tap dancing and like being real nice. And because they've never told her the truth, she doesn't even know the truth. Recently, I was in Mallorca in Spain, right? I met this gorgeous Romanian chick, and she says, hey, how old do you think I look? I'm over here with my video editor. You heard me? I got her on. She texted me on IG. She says, how old do you think I look? And I was like, bro, how old you think Shorty look? He was like, bro, she looked like she at least this age. I was like, yeah, I agree. And he was like, what you gonna say? And I was like, not that. That's the point. You get lied to, then you get smashed and dashed. And at the end, you're wondering why, because you have no sense of reality. And why does the lie work on you? Because you want to be lied to.
And you know, the aggression with which he's talking should have never had to come to that. But modern women push you to the brink to where you have to start talking to him aggressively. You have to start saying, hey, you guys need to back up. I keep on telling y'all are not, you guys need to understand at some point in time, you're going to have to give a man respect. And if you keep on encroaching on his territory, you move into the territory of a man. And you don't want to be in that territory.
A man with morals, self-respect will humble the out of a damn woman who thinks she just he'll compliment you. That don't mean he wants you though. You look good. And that's just it.
Boy, at 36 years of age, still dumb as hell. Dumb. So, stay the night. I wake up at like 8 in the morning. He's gone. I knew he would be gone. Let's also, when we got to the hotel room, obviously we showered. Baby, I never once seen this man without something on his head. You know that's a bad sign, right? Like you wouldn't put a do-rag on or whatever that was, his dreads. You wouldn't put that thing on your head to protect your hair. Cut it out. That hairline is on the struggle bus. I already know it is. Has to be. It can't. There's no other alternative. Anywho, yeah, I called him like when I woke up because I was hungover. We had a little slight conversation. Then he was like, hey, I got to handle XYZ. Okay, go handle your business. You know I have not heard from that man since.
Now we get to the meat of the matter. Now we get to the meat of the matter. This is what the whole conversation was about. This is why the beginning of the conversation, now I understand. Okay, now I completely understand why she was like, he was so thirsty, desperate, talking to himself, thirsty. And, I gave him my number just because I was vulnerable at the time. His hairline, this, she has to give all the derogatory stuff and kind of put him down. But whether that's how she really feel or not, she has to set the stage so we understand the position as to why she would be upset at the end of the day.
He did exactly what I told him he would do. And I really hate that for him because he's dead to me. Dead. I called him a couple of times after that to like cuss him out, and he acted like he was just so busy with work.
Oh, look who's thirsty now. Look who is thirsty now. You ain't hear from him since, and then you just keep calling him, and now he's telling you he's so busy. Look who is thirsty now. My.
So busy with work and his child that he just couldn't fathom having this conversation right now, and that he would call me back. He called me back one time I was asleep, and I have yet to have the conversation with him. Baby, he has since gotten the "you are dead to me and you are a loser" text message, which I have not heard back from. I also think I blocked him, so I won't be getting that correspondence back from him. But I say all that to say, to you nice guys out there that, you were hoping that one day I might give you a chance. I'm not interested in anybody. If you're not my type, I'm not even entertaining the thought of talking to you. He ruined it for all of you. Welcome. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. I am done embarrassing myself for the day.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is, like I said before, the meat of the matter is she got Uno reverse. Okay, that man hit that reverse on her. And I think what a lot of women have a hard time understanding is the fact that just because they believe they are the preference, right? They're like, I'm everybody's type. Everybody's attracted to me.
Well, it doesn't really matter if you block him, because for one, he already hit it. So you're not one-upping him by blocking him. The man said, I don't have the time to talk about it, which means I already got what he wanted. Remember, you took years to give this man the time of day. And when he finally got the time of day, he cracked and left and ghosted. Maybe you guys should learn to treat people better and see how that pans out.
Boy, at 36 years of age, still dumb as hell. Dumb. So stay the night. I wake up at like 8 in the morning. He's gone. I knew he would be gone. Let's also, when we got to the hotel room, obviously we showered. Baby, I never once seen this man without something on his head. You know that's a bad sign, right? Like you wouldn't put a do-rag on or whatever that was, his dreads. You wouldn't put that thing on your head to protect your hair. Cut it out. That hairline is on the struggle bus. I already know it is. Has to be. It can't. There's no other alternative. Anywho, yeah, I called him like when I woke up because I was hungover. We had a little slight conversation. Then he was like, hey, I got to handle XYZ. Okay, go handle your business. You know I have not heard from that man since.
Now we get to the meat of the matter. Now we get to the meat of the matter. This is what the whole conversation was about. This is why the beginning of the conversation, now I understand. Okay, now I completely understand why she was like, he was so thirsty, desperate, talking to himself, thirsty. And, I gave him my number just because I was vulnerable at the time. His hairline, this, she has to give all the derogatory stuff and kind of put him down. But whether that's how she really feel or not, she has to set the stage so we understand the position as to why she would be upset at the end of the day.
He did exactly what I told him he would do. And I really hate that for him because he's dead to me. Dead. I called him a couple of times after that to like cuss him out, and he acted like he was just so busy with work.
Oh, look who's thirsty now. Look who is thirsty now. You ain't hear from him since, and then you just keep calling him, and now he's telling you he's so busy. Look who is thirsty now. My.
So busy with work and his child that he just couldn't fathom having this conversation right now, and that he would call me back. He called me back one time while I was asleep, and I have yet to have the conversation with him. Baby, he has since gotten the "you are dead to me and you are a loser" text message, which I have not heard back from. I also think I blocked him, so I won't be getting that correspondence back from him. But I say all that to say, to you nice guys out there that, you were hoping that one day I might give you a chance. I'm not interested in anybody. If you're not my type, I'm not even entertaining the thought of talking to you. He ruined it for all of you. Welcome. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. I am done embarrassing myself for the day.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is, like I said before, the meat of the matter is she got Uno reverse. Okay, that man hit that reverse on her. And I think what a lot of women have a hard time understanding is the fact that just because they believe they are the preference, right? They're like, I'm everybody's type. Everybody's attracted to me.
So I invite a man over, don't even have his number. We met on Bumble today. We're just like, okay, no expectations. Yeah, you can come over because I cleaned my apartment, right? So I needed someone to inspect it. I don't know, whatever. And he was super sweet, very, very sweet. But tell me why, when push got to shove, we were having fun, right? And he crossed the finish line, and then no mention of me crossing the finish line. Okay, I'm a big girl. I can speak up for myself, right? I'm a huge advocate for women speaking up, but she shouldn't have to ask. Women should not have to ask, especially if you're not asking and things are just sort of progressing and she's being a giver. Like, yeah, it's fun to give, but when there's no even, like, I might have even said no. I probably would have said no. But if there's no even offer, I'm shook.
I do get where you're coming from. He gets to finish, but you don't. And he didn't even offer to understand if you didn't finish. You probably would have said, no, I don't need to. But the fact that he didn't give you the option is kind of what's grinding your gears. What if men have been saying when they take you on a date, well, it'd been nice if she would have offered to, kind of pay or kind of put the tip down. I probably would have said no, but it'd been nice. Isn't that kind of the same thing? You don't offer to spare my finances. Don't offer to spare you a good time in the bed. I'm playing as toxic.
All right, talk to me. Has anyone ever met a man whose love language isn't physical touch? Because I swear to God, every time I go on Hinge and it's on one of their prompts, it's always physical touch, every single time. And
Now, I was going to go on this rant about how men are neglected when they're kids and they don't get the physical affection that most women do from their parents and all this other shit that plays into why men's love language is physical touch, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go a different route. Let's look at the other the other 4 love languages. It's acts of service, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and quality time. Now, me personally, I'm a physical touch and quality time kind of guy. But what would it look like if a guy said that he wanted gifts? That was his love language. You gotta be like, no way in hell am I buying gifts for a man, blah, blah, blah. If he said words of affirmation is his love language, you gotta be like, I have to constantly reassure you. That's insecure. Be a man. And don't even get me started on acts of service. Y'all do not want to do anything for men. So what love language do we have left? Are we just not supposed to have a love language? And y'all wonder why men don't open up. They don't want love. It's because it's like this. We can't have nothing. If you ain't no, hit the follow button.
And y'all about to call me a pick-me, and I don't care. Men need to start treating y'all. And what I mean by this, they need to start treating y'all like back in the day. Like when y'all was fat, men was the first one to boo y'all. Like, and just simply y'all. And if I had up, they need to start doing that again. Cause y'all be getting on here with these standards and y'all be ugly, fat, teeth missing, them dumbass individual eyelashes. You can't even open your eyes, eyebrows, crazy hair be, the baby hairs be in the eyebrows. They need to start getting back on here and roasting y'all back. They need to start roasting y'all back. I need some entertainment and I need you to be humbled because men, they're not like the men back in the day. They have gotten really soft. I don't know if it's because they want access to y'all whack. I wouldn't want access to y'all whack, but I'm a female that's heterosexual, so there's that. But they have gotten really, really soft. I grew up in men in my household, and I'm funny because of them. Like, they used to roast for real. Like, really roast you for real. Like, no holding back, nothing. You looked crazy. You was dressing in colors and all kind of stuff. They was going to tell you. They was never holding back from you. I could tell a lot of y'all did not grow up with that, and y'all need to hear it because I feel like this internet is very female coded, women empowerment, and it's making y'all very delusional to the fact that y'all are whack. Like, y'all forgetting that y'all are whack when y'all log in on here and put this different character on. And I feel like y'all need to get humbled again. Men need to start being mean again, or whatever they was doing back in the day.
I am in shock. I am in disbelief. Tell me why. This man gonna give me the biggest reality check. This man gonna invite me out, right? And I couldn't go. And usually when I be telling him no, he be getting a little bit in his feelings. And I would expect nothing less if you actually get, you feel me? Anyway, that's just my opinion. But so I had to tell him no. So I text him back, talk about, oh, I can't. I know you finna be upset or whatever. He responds and says, nah, it ain't that deep. Since when? Since when ain't it that deep? And so I'm like, quit playing with me. You know you be getting mad when I be telling you no. He gonna say, we ain't reached a point where you're worth getting that mad for.
Rejected.
I mean, you're right, but goddamn, like, goddamn. And when I tell you, I stared at that text for minutes, my jaw on the floor. He politely told me, baby girl, you are not that important. He said, you are not worth me stressing over. Wow.
Dudes in the comments saying maybe he's tired of the games. And I fully and wholeheartedly agree. You guys think that you have the rest of your life to continue playing these little stupid games and these silly games. And when a man decides enough is enough, I want to move on, then all of a sudden you're taken back.
You let him sleep?
I make too much money.
How much money you make a year?
$30,000 a year.
How much?
$30,000 a year.
How much money you make at the end of the year?
I make $14,000 a month.
I'm not impressed.
What we have here is the modern American woman in her natural habitat. You see, she had already made up in her mind that she was better than this young man, and that no matter the outcome of this conversation, she was going to reject him and belittle him. And due to her financial illiteracy, she thought that $30,000 a year was actually some money until he humbled her. But see, she's malfunctioning, literally short-circuiting right in front of your face. She's impressed, but her ego will not let her admit it. She's much like every American woman who dreams of the handsome white knight who makes 6 figures plus a year to come save her, and he's right in front of her. But see, she's already dug her hole, and now she must pretend to not be impressed in order to seem more attractive. Fortunately for her, she's about to miss the bus. This is why it is important for young men to get your passports and get the on. It's over with here in America, and so are we.
You think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine.
I messaged a guy that I did not talk to for like 8 years, literally like hooked up with him like 8 years ago. And I randomly thought about him, like, you know, like when you're single at like 28, you start thinking about, oh, maybe from the past, like this is a good guy. Yeah, no, this is what went down. First I messaged him, hey stranger. He said, sorry, who's this? I said, Leah Bars. And then when I said, I said Leah, haha. And then I said Bars. And then when I sent Bars, it didn't say delivered. So I was like, did he block me? So then I did this. I went to his Venmo and I sent him $1 and I said, did you block me? And then he unblocked me and said, what's up? This is random. And I said, well, why did you block me? He said, why are you texting me? I said, whoa, I don't know, to catch up. He's like, it's been 8 years. I said, damn, I didn't know people couldn't talk again. I said, well, why did you block me? He said, why are you texting me? I said, whoa, I don't know, to catch up. He's like, it's been 8 years. I said, damn, I didn't know people couldn't talk again. My bad. He was like, I have a wife and kids now. Plot twist, my bad. He said, think you're a weirdo. I said, right back at ya. And then the conversation just ended, and honestly woke up mortified. Simply mortified. So please stitch this with any other stories that you have that are similar or worse than this, so it makes me feel better about it.
He is in the friend zone for sure. I don't know why some guys place themselves in this position. We all agree that Chad and Tyrone would never do that, and this is why they get the best of them. Guys, stop overdoing things. You don't have to do that. She is literally dancing and leaning back while on his shoulder, and this is the man she will call boring. This guy will be able to skip leg Dave for a long time.
Tú eres como el agua clara que llueve del cielo.
Cabrón.
Te quiero porque quiero que me quieras, porque como tú no hay nadie más bonito en tu cuerpo. Brillar por
Chinga, Tranquilo, güey. Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo.
I have a question. Why is it that nobody treats you better than the guy you don't want to be with? Ah! Alhauni. Okay.
Good boys or bad boys?
Bad boys. Bad boys.
Bad
What made you not want him? I thought he was too nice.
Most girls won't admit this, but for your sake, I will. I hate nice guys.
There is a fine line between being a nice guy and a good man. The typical nice guy exhibits primarily feminine traits, and he desires nothing above being accepted by others. He is a people pleaser, submissive, willing to sacrifice his self-respect, even at the expense of right and wrong, so long as he wins approval. He is mistaken for being virtuous, when he is simply as harmless as a mouse.
Where's the stitcher you saying, I'm sorry, I contacted you? Oh, my bad. I just texted to catch up. I didn't know. Oh, my bad. Where's that?
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if I date 3 guys, or 10 guys, or no guys in 1 year. It's none of your business. And also, at least you know I'm not settling, so.
Dude in the comments said, it is kind of my business if I'm looking for something serious. I might buy a used car, but not one with 300,000 miles on it. Pretty much the gist of it.
Yesterday I asked my husband to call out of work because I wanted to hang out with him today. And he was like, no, I'm not calling out of work. And I was like, why? What's your reason? And he stares at me and he goes, I'm looking at my reason right now. Oh, okay.
No, that's right. A man in the comments said the same girlfriend that asked you to call out today will be the same girlfriend that will be mad next week when your check is short.
Once you plan a date, you don't have to talk to me in between. Like if you set up something for Saturday at 2 p.m. and you tell me you made reservations, great. I will see you on Saturday. You know, I'll send a text Friday like, look forward to seeing you tomorrow, or see you tomorrow at 2. That is all. All that little small talk, what you doing, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing, how you sleep, how you doing, how you I don't want to do that. Stop asking me. Leave me alone. I will see you Saturday. Thank you.
I don't know, sister, you're on your own with this one. That's what a woman said. Another woman said, oh no, my program is real strict. You absolutely must talk to me in between, because if you don't say none, we ain't going nowhere. Thank you. That's how you get surprised and you wonder why you got stuff that's happening to you. Another woman says, no, actually, do talk to me. Another woman says, no, LOL, talk to me. Exactly. Foolishness. Yeah, let this one alone. Leave her in the street. Let her alone.
The fact that there are men in my comment section saying that if I want equal pay as a woman to do the job that I do, I should also be okay with paying for my own dates is wild to me. Those are not the same thing, sir. They're not. I am not a feminist who believes that men and women are the same and that they can do the same things, and all these men and women are different, and I think that's beautiful. And so many of y'all are up in arms about the fact that I said I would prefer a man to pay for the first few dates because I like masculine men, and masculine men give. That's what they do. Feminine women receive. That's how biology is. Does that mean that you only give and I only receive throughout our whole relationship? Absolutely not. But the first few dates, that's how it works. But to say that I can't then ask for equal pay for a job that I'm doing the same as you is wild. If I have the same education, the same experience, and I'm doing the same job as you, yes, I should be paid the same. Now, what I don't think should be happening is I don't think that there should be different requirements for men and women when it comes to a job. Like in the military, I don't understand how women have to do less, like pull-ups, push-ups, things like that. I think that if you have to be able to, you should be able to show that you can do the job, and it should be the same across the board. But the pay should be the same across the board as well. But me saying that I want a man to pay for the first few dates, and the fact that you're coming in here saying that I then should not ask for equal pay is, absolutely just diabolical, to be honest.
I wonder if you receive at work, or do you be given? You give your time, your effort, your energy, your skills, and they give you a paycheck. You receive a paycheck. I wonder how much you're gonna be putting in for. Let me say this: when you go to your job, they have what they call on some jobs a probationary period. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months. Depending on if you have a sales job, it might be 2 weeks. But the point is, there's a certain point in time to where they start expecting a return on their investment. And if a man is putting into something and not getting a return on investment, then don't you think that maybe he's going to stop putting money into that? Consequently, in this situation, it would be you. If you're not putting into the relationship, like you said, I'm going to sit here and receive. And that doesn't mean I don't give, here and there, but I'm definitely feminine. I'm going to receive. You're going to have a lot of problems with that. A lot of problems with that.
So it turns out that not all men are demons. My tire popped right before I was about to go on the highway. So I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going as far as I could before I could get into a left turning lane where I could no longer dunk my way into safety. And I just had to sit there with the emergency lights on as I frantically asked ChatGPT, what should I do? And while I was on the phone calling Geico, trying to get roadside assistance, a man who I now unfortunately have to call an angel basically walked around the car, told me what tire it was that was messed up because I was too scared to go out and look. I guess I was at this intersection where there was a shop and a car place right next to it, like a body shop. And he was nice enough to walk over to them and ask them to get a tire pump to at least put enough air in my tire so I could roll in there, and then they could put the stud tire on. And I just sometimes when people are nice to you, it hits harder than when nothing bad happens. I was wow, he's pretty nice for being a demon.
he said that he just wanted someone to extend the same type of help that he would want his wife to get. And anyways, his name is Ander, and his company is called Twister Roofing and Construction in Florida. If anybody wants to go send him some nice reviews, because he told me to send one to him. So yeah, that happened, and like I needed the reminder too that like I guess they're not all totally evil. This was a nice way to be reminded.
It's no secret that men like young women, right? They believe women expire after 25 or 30. You know, we've heard it all. They love to repeat themselves. But my question to the men, since you guys are on here instead of building something, is do you think that young women like you? Because we know you like young women. We know you like a woman you can manipulate and that has no experience and doesn't know any better, right? But do young women like you, right? As you are, without having to front, without having to fake flex. Do young women like you? Okay. Now, if they do like you, how long do you think that young woman is going to like you for before she realizes, me and this guy are 10 years apart, 15 years apart, right? 20 years apart. How much longer do you think that young woman is going to like you without you providing something someone of your age should be able to, right? Which is a home, being able to give her the option to work or not, because you know, she will eventually come to her senses and realize, if I'm gonna date someone that we don't even, you know, share the same lingo or same taste in music, maybe they should be adding something beneficial to my life, like financial, right? There should be some financial gain. So do you guys just keep planning to get older and keep replacing them with really young girls? Which at some point you won't be able to do that, right? Because a 20-year-old might be down to date a 40-year-old, but is a 20-year-old going to date a 50-year-old? A 60-year-old? With no financial compensation? Do you think that? Okay, think about it.
This is a moot point because statistically speaking, in relationships, people usually get with those who are about 2 to 3 years in either direction around their age. So it's a moot point. There is a difference in what men see as attractive, but what they actually get with is different. So they're not actually out here running down these young ladies, statistically speaking, right? I know you're trying to make all men predators, but statistically speaking, they like a woman that looks youthful. Youthful women signal fertility, right? That's just naturally wired in a man. I know you're trying to demonize men and shame them for what comes natural to them, right? But then you're not going to want a man to demonize you for wanting money. For I think it was you, right, that said that you wanted a push present when you got pregnant, and for the baby coming out, you wanted a push present. You also wanted that man to get a tattoo on his stomach, the face of the baby, to kind of join in with you, because if if your body's changing, I think you said his body's going to need to change. So it's kind of silly for you to be talking about this right now. You want a man that's financially stable. That's what you're wired to look for. Somebody that's a provider, somebody that can take care of you. And a man is naturally hardwired to look for youthful appearances. Come on, guys.
Me and my kid's dad, my ex, we co-parent real bad. And we got this like down pat. Down to like a science almost, I swear. Y'all, our son just started football for the first time. I didn't know what he needed. I didn't know if he needed anything. All I know is this man brought me back a bag with a receipt that says $221. I said, what? Excuse me? He said, yeah, here go all his stuff that he needed for football. I just went and got it. You just went and got it. Without me having to tell you to go and get it. Without me having to hunt you down or tell you, hey, send me your half. You just went and got it and didn't even ask me for half? Yeah. Yeah. That's my baby daddy. Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, statistically speaking, there are men that actually do this. It's just that, once again, they don't receive a lot of credit for it.
Asking that man to carry her after she just broke up with him was diabolical. Oh, hello.
Sorry.
You're fine. You scared me.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Love your hair.
Thank you.
You live around here?
I work here.
Oh, you look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You have a good day, okay?
You look like you're in your 20s.
Oh, thank you. I am.
So am I, 29.
Wow, look at you. Doing great.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Margie.
I'm Aman, A-M-A-N.
Nice to meet you, Aman.
Yeah, you look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I love your hair, too.
Oh, thank you. I gotta get back to work, but you have a good day, okay?
Are you married?
I am.
Oh, you like it so far?
Yeah, I love him.
Do you have any kids?
We do have kids together.
How many?
2.
Oh, you like it so far?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very happy.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
And this is what men be talking about. And I think they were saying in the comments, he might be on the spectrum, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm not 100% sure, right? But, you know, this is the way that men are saying maybe you can handle it. He's asking questions and she's giving responses. But he's like, oh, you married? Do you have kids? How you liking it so far? You know, that sort of thing. Oh, well, I got to get to work. And then bolting off, right? But some of these women out here are dogging men out. They're dogging them out. And the only problem with that is if you're going to dog somebody out, you better expect that after you've burned that bridge, you can build another one. Unfortunately, for a lot of these modern women, they see that it's maybe not as easy to build a bridge. And so when your car breaks down, how are you going to get over that bridge? You burned it down. When you need somebody to pay your rent and then you're short, how are you going to get over that bridge? You burned it down. When you need somebody to kind of help you up the stairs with your groceries or maybe that piece of furniture, and you can't pay somebody to do it because that was your last that you spent, and you were thinking that you're a strong, independent woman, you're just going to, I'm just going to throw it upstairs. I'm just going to, all my strength, I've been in the gym for these past 3 years. I'm strong enough to do it. And you can't, you get it up a flight, but you got 4 more flights to go, 4 more flights to go. How are you going to do it? You already burned that bridge. Kindness goes a long way.
When you're married to a good man, you don't have to worry about them cheating, but you do have to worry about them doing things like purchasing this on a random Tuesday. What did you buy, babe?
That right there is 1984 C70 dump truck. Chevrolet. Bow tie, baby. Bow tie.
All right, y'all fellas, y'all was duped. Y'all have been duped. Because I've been listening to women on these podcasts. They talking about men supposed to do this, men supposed to do that, men this, and that. But on the back end, I'm just like, so what is a woman supposed to do for a man then? All I could talk about is some lingerie, some heels, make that man have a nice night. So we're talking about that's the only thing we could give to a man is a snapping turtle and a slippery slope. Y'all got to be kidding me. In 2025, y'all still think a little poon is gonna pay for a man doing everything for you? That is not how this works. That is not what this is. The audacity, fellas, y'all been duped. Because if that woman is not showing any type of reciprocity, she is not giving to the main giver, it be basic that they want. Let them not have to come home and wash dishes, cook, clean, do laundry. Shit, like, cannot pay the price for everything. It is not okay. that you think that that is the way for the rest of your life. I'm finna get my kids. Because y'all went too far on this app.
You know, me and my wife were discussing a post on Reddit that I think that a lot of people have heard. It was one where a woman and a man, they went to go do an ultrasound or something like that. And she said something to the effect of, I can't believe I'm making a baby. And when the tech left, the guy left the room, the person doing the ultrasound left the room. The guy kind of gently went over to her and he kind of gently reminded her, I think he said in the post, he said, well, you know, it's kind of both of us doing this. And so she got emotional. She started crying. And I think he said something to the effect of, well, you know, basically, I kind of put in, you know, I provided some of myself in this as well. And that made her upset. And I don't think that he should have said that in that moment, but I do get where he's coming from, right? Men, their contributions on the wedding day, their contributions in pregnancy are very limited. They're downplayed, actually. A man could sit up there and buy a freaking engagement ring. He can sit up there and buy a freaking wedding ring. Pay a lot of money for the wedding. Pay a lot of money to get the house going. Make sure the cars are running. And in pregnancy, I'm going here, I'm going there. Anything she wants. Even before the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, and then after the pregnancy. That's just my job in general. That's what I'm doing in general. It's me. I'm the one that's consistent. I'm the one that's the rock. I'm the one that's stable. But nobody ever gives me credit. So in that moment, he was feeling vulnerable and he expressed that. And he shared that. Maybe he could have done a better job of it, but it was on her as the partner to realize and understand his emotions, because women are so good at that, right? It was on her to say, you know, I wasn't saying that it's just me in this. We're both, you're right. I should have said it, you know, it's both of us growing a baby, because they want to say, oh, we're pregnant. Oh, we're this, we're that, and every single other thing to make sure they don't get left out. We're on this, we're on that. We're both on the loan. We're both on the car note. We're both, and all that stuff. But when a man says, well, what about this? I want to be on that. No, you can't be. There's some women talking about, you know, I'm going to give the baby my last name. And why do I got to take it? I ain't taking his last name. Where is the emotional intelligence that y'all talking about? Where is the reciprocation? I definitely agree with her. We have to do all of this stuff for you. And we weren't duped, by the way. We see them doing this. We've been seeing them doing this for a while. But we got to do all the stuff that she was explaining just for you to say, okay, let me go here and throw my little outfit on. Let me go ahead and do my two-step for you. Go ahead and get you right for about 9 minutes. Go ahead and turn you over, and we'll do this again in about a couple of weeks or on your birthday, you know, on Christmas, if you give me the perfume or the purse that I want. Come on, man. At some point, and they were calling him the jerk. Oh, you the jerk for saying that. Understood. But a man is always expected. And this is what I'm saying. Even in that example of the Reddit post I was just telling you about, where he said, hey, it's both of us. Why would you say that to her? How dare you say that to her? This is her moment. He's trying to share his feelings. Maybe not in a perfect way. He tried to share them. And guess what? They were trampled over. So guess what that guy's going to do next time? Especially with the people on Reddit trying to trash him. Especially when his wife or his girlfriend is not listening to him. Guess what he's going to do? I got you. Why don't you ever open up to me? He just shut down. He really didn't say too much after that. I wonder why. And now we're in therapy, wasting more money because you act like you couldn't validate his feelings like you wanted him to validate yours. What you could have said is, I can't believe I have this thing growing inside of me. It's essentially the same thing, but it's saying, yeah, man, you know, this is something that we're doing together. Yeah, it is. Instead of I'm making a baby. And that's why he said, well, maybe it's both of us. And you can't call him a deadbeat because he was in the room with you. He was getting the ultrasound with you. So he's a supportive person in general. I asked the doctor, the OBGYN the other day, I said, is it, very few men that come in and they're with their significant other, or do you see it common that men come in by and large? By and large, yeah. Men come in and they're with their significant others, or their partner, or whoever it is, their girlfriend, their wife, whoever it might be. They come in, we rarely ever see a woman come in by herself. She usually has a partner. But I thought men didn't participate. And men don't get credit. They don't get credit for running around doing things that you're just too tired to do, doing things that you don't want to do, getting you things that I just had a hankering for it. Late at night, jumping out of bed, got to go to work tomorrow, but I'm making sure that you're comfortable. They never get any credit for that. And once you're done carrying the baby, he still has to do his job. His job gets exponentially harder now that he has another mouth to feed, now that he has another person to care for. But do men ever get credit for that? But you want them to pay, and you want to give them a little something on the side as a reward when that's part of the relationship. Come on, guys.